Darkcast Network. The light shines brightest on our indie podcasts.
Hi, this is Kelly.
And this is Jenna.
And you're listening to ODFM.
This episode is One Descendant from Murder.
Ooh, a Descendant.
Descendant.
I like it. We haven't talked about Descendant. Well, kind of we have, but we haven't had an episode specific to it. Okay.
So, apologize for, because this episode's going to come out a week from now, which means this coming week there won't be an episode, which was last week when you guys listened to this. But anyway.
Yeah.
But, because I was sick, but I used my time wisely and watched a bunch of true crime documentaries, so I have stories. So I feel like I was working on the podcast without actually recording any episodes.
Yes. You were working with your mind.
Yes. And so this is one of the ones that I watched that was really good. And then I did some further research and found some more wonderful information.
Ooh.
And then I had to whittle it back down because I'm like, this would have been a two-parter. And we keep doing these two-parters.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you. I like what happened. I want to get to the conclusion.
I want to know. I want to know. I don't want to wait. Yep, totally.
So, all right. So, are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
All right, cool. This is April 21st, 1992.
Ooh, okay.
This is out in California. Not a Florida story.
Well, okay.
I know.
We've kind of gotten away from Florida. We need to get back there.
I know. But this is still some batshit crazy.
I like that.
We still got some crazy in here.
Yay, crazy.
Okay, so it was the Tuesday morning after Easter.
Ooh, okay.
9 a.m. when a housekeeper named Juanita Vitia arrived at a home near Fresno, California for her regular cleaning day. So it was a regularly scheduled thing. So she shows up as she's supposed to.
I wish Juanita could clean my house.
I know. Well, I don't know. She may have changed careers after this.
She's like, fuck this.
Right,
No.
because she walked into the kitchen and discovered a woman's body.
Oh, yeah.
And so she's like,
Tuesday
you know
morning.
what? I don't get paid enough for this shit. Nope. And that's not the kind of cleaning I do. I do toilets, I do windows, I don't do this shit.
I'm not part of this kind of cleanup crew. No.
So she calls the police right away, and when authorities arrive and search the home, 2 additional bodies are found.
Oh, it's a good thing she didn't keep going.
Exactly.
She was like,
I'm
maybe
out.
I'll start in the bathroom.
Right, exactly.
Maybe I'll go to a different room to start. Nope, there's a body in here too.
Yep. Okay.
I'm out.
That's it. I'm just going to move on to tomorrow's house. Just fuck this shit.
Yeah.
So the home belonged to the Ewell family. It's spelled weird. It's spelled Ewell, but it's pronounced Ewell, like Yuletide.
Like a Yule log or whatever.
Yule log, yeah, but it's Ewell. So it was the Ewell family home, and the victims were 57-year-old Glee Ewell, which it was a family name. That's
I kind of like
the mom.
I like Glee. It's happy.
I'm sorry, Glee. Ewell.
Yeah.
Yes, Glee. And from all accounts, she was a very nice, pleasant person.
She was gleeful.
It fit. You know, there's a lot of pressure if your name's Glee.
There is, just like Joy.
Right. There's a lot of pressure involved. You're not allowed to be,
No couple honors and faith. Man, there's a lot to be had.
Yeah. Think about these things when you name your kids, okay?
I'm going to be like, I don't have honor. Oh.
I'm going to name my kids Dirtbag. That way they have nothing to... They can only go up from here.
They can start, yeah.
Right?
It's a base level. You got,
bar low. All right,
Dirtbag.
So we have a 57-year-old Glee Ewell, her 59-year-old husband Dale, and their daughter Tiffany, who was 24.
Okay.
At first, it appeared the home had been burglarized. The alarm system was not armed, and it hadn't been triggered. But there were no signs of a break-in or a struggle.
So someone they knew. They opened the door and let somebody in. Yeah.
So Tiffany was laying face down on the kitchen floor, and she had been shot once in the back of the head.
So this is the one that Juanita, was that her name?
That's who Juanita found.
Yeah, that's who Juanita found. Oh my gosh.
Yes, right? And I'm sure she was like this beautiful 24-year-old.
Yeah, I'm out.
Dale was laying face down in the hallway by the entrance from the garage.
Okay.
And he had been shot in the back of the neck.
So he might have been running or something.
And then Glee was lying partly on her back, partly on her left side in it was like an office den area.
Okay.
And she kind of had her arm shielding her eyes.
Oh.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
She had been shot 4 times, including one just below her eye.
Oh, Jesus. Right. We need to ask Forrest, the medical examiner, no, she listens to this. So Forrest, I always hear about people when they die, like have an expression on their face.
Okay, I didn't put this in here, but there was one of the things I watched on this said that she had like this look of horror on her face.
I wonder if it's like true.
If that's true.
Yeah.
Or if that's something they just say for dramatic effect.
Yeah.
Right? Like she had just this look of horror on her face. Oh my God.
Okay. Does anyone have a look of happiness on their face when they die?
Absolutely nobody. No one looked happy.
They're not like, yeah.
No. You know. Especially not Glee.
And yeah,
Glee looked horrified. Poor Glee.
Oh. Okay.
Neither of the women had been sexually assaulted.
Oh, good. At least
so it wasn't that kind of crime.
Motivation. Okay.
So upon further investigation, lead detective John Sousa or Sousa? Sousa. It's S-O-U. Something it's Sousa.
Okay.
He determined the burglary was staged. He had worked burglary for years before he moved to homicide. And so as he looked around, he was like, well, typically a burglar will open drawers from the bottom up.
Oh, interesting.
And they just open them, dig through, and then move to the next one. This was like they started from the top, opened it, and then shoved it back closed.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And that's not like burglars, like they got a system. They're like in and out, in and out. We're not interested in making it look nice when we're done.
No, we're just, getting through.
So
they don't want to help Juanita.
Exactly, right? Yeah. Juanita's on her own, sorry.
Yeah.
So sorry, Juanita. Police theorized, based on what they did approximate time of death, that the women had returned home first and entered the house together. Okay. That Tiffany was shot first and probably was taken by surprise because she was shot in the back of the head. Oh, didn't even know the killer was there.
Yeah.
So she was shot and killed before she knew anything. But apparently Glee probably knew, and it seemed like she was chased into the den.
That's even worse. Even worse. Yep.
And then that's where she was killed, was in the den. And then that Dale was killed last because it was they estimated he died approximately an hour after his wife and daughter.
Jesus.
So there was time in between.
Oh, so he came in late. Oh, God. Mm-hmm. Someone was there waiting. That's creepy.
Right? Oh, God. All right. So detectives suspected that the murder weapon was a 9mm firearm. And although shell casings should have been ejected, there were none found at the scene. So the killer cleaned up.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm. This is not somebody who doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
right?
He's like, I'll do a little favor for you, Juanita, but everything else.
Exactly. Yeah. There was a box of 9mm Winchester cartridges with 18 rounds of ammunition in it in the master bedroom.
Oh.
And there was one unexpended round that was on the floor of the room, like that wasn't in the box that they dropped or whatever.
Oh.
So it appeared that that was the ammunition used. This is just initial crime scene investigation. This isn't full-on forensics yet. This is just their initial stuff. So I'm going to give you a little backstory on the family. So Dale Ewell was born in Ohio in 1932. Glee was also from Ohio. Both of their families are in Ohio. After serving in the Air Force, he moved to California and started his own business selling small airplanes called Wester Piper Sales. Oh. I wanted to say Winchester, but that was the name.
Yeah, the name of the gun.
Wester Piper Sales. He married Glee Mitchell in 1961, and they had 2 children. They had a daughter, Tiffany, in 1967, and a son named Dana in 1971.
Okay.
Dale's company had been really successful. So they had a beautiful home in an upper middle class neighborhood, but they didn't really flaunt their money. They weren't known to be really flaunting.
Well, yeah.
But he made some good money.
That'd be nice.
They even had a beach house in Watsonville, California, Monterey Bay.
Oh, in Monterey Bay, you said?
Really nice. Yeah.
Because my internet keeps cutting out. I don't know if it's happening on your side. Okay.
So in Watsonville, California, off Monterey Bay, they had this gorgeous beach house, right?
Nice. Okay.
Tiffany was a graduate student and was living at home with her parents while she was going to graduate school. Dana, she was 24. Dana was 21 at the time, and he was attending the University of Santa Clara and living in the dorms there, he was there.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's, so he wasn't home. The Sunday before, which was Easter Sunday, All 4 members of the Ewell family had been at their beach house for the weekend. They spent Easter weekend at the beach house.
Oh, that'd be so wonderful.
You know how it is, right?
Yeah. No, I don't.
No, I don't either.
No, I don't.
On the Saturday before Easter, the Ewells had dinner with Dana's girlfriend, Monica Zent, and her family.
Okay, that's cool.
Fairly serious because they were all
apparently
having dinner together, right?
Wow.
Afterward, on Saturday, the Zent family returned back to their home in San Francisco, and Dana actually went with them to spend the rest of the weekend with them.
Oh, cool. Oh, I love San Francisco.
And then on Sunday afternoon, Glee and Tiffany drove the 2.5 hours back to Fresno.
Okay.
To go home, and Dale flew his private plane back to the hangar and then drove home. So that's why he was home somewhere
later.
Between 30 minutes and an hour after they got there.
Ah, that makes sense. Okay.
Tiffany walked into the house first, and she was shot as soon as she reached the kitchen. Glee attempted to run, only got as far as the office. And then the killer sat and waited for at least 30 minutes.
So they had an agenda. It wasn't like they were just, okay, I was getting something and
it wasn't a surprise. It wasn't yep, exactly.
Oh, they needed to get rid of people.
Right. So detectives discovered that Dale Ewell had purchased that particular box of ammunition that was found in the master bedroom, along with a 9mm pistol back in 1971.
In 1971, you said?
Yes, and this was 92.
Gosh.
So it was a while ago. So that ammunition had been there. The pistol was missing.
Whoa.
Right.
That's wild.
But the ammunition was there.
Okay.
And the bullets recovered in the victim's body showed signs that the gun that was used was fitted with a silencer.
Yikes. Oh my God. So they knew where the bullets were.
Right.
They already had stolen the gun at some point.
Exactly. They knew it wasn't an interrupted burglary because there was no struggle. The alarm system wasn't triggered. It had been, so obviously someone knew the thing to undo the code or whatever. So it was likely that the family was targeted by somebody that was waiting for them in the house.
Absolutely.
So creepy.
You know what I think it is? I think it's someone had a conjoined twin at one point in the family, maybe Tiffany. They separated them, and the twin was angry that they didn't get to stay at the beach house because she probably was deformed. And
this is a very interesting and completely ridiculous theory.
I watch a lot of horrible horror movies, and this would be the plot.
Horror movies plus true crime equal Kelly's weird predictions.
Really weird. Okay, so we'll see if it comes true. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see how well this matches up to the real story. Spoiler alert, not at all. Okay, so police are like, all right, so what our next step is we're going to try to figure out who would benefit from the murder of these people. Right?
Yeah. The conjoined twin.
The conjoined twin. Had there, in fact, been one. The Ewell estate was worth about $8 million in 1992.
Ooh.
Which is the equivalent of about $16 million in 2022.
Wow.
Right, which is why we can't afford shit.
No.
But that's a whole different topic. That's why we can't get houses. All right, anyway. Yep. Police investigated 2 possible incidents in the history of Dale's company that could have been a motive.
Oh.
There was an entanglement with somebody, said something about the mob, blah, blah, blah. All of that panned out. There was nothing there.
Nothing there. Okay.
Glee had once worked for the CIA as a translator.
Ooh. Wow. That's pretty cool.
When she got married, she became a teacher. And then later on, she had been serving on the State Bar of California's governing board, which I guess is the people who appoint judges.
Oh,
I had to look that up because I didn't know.
I would have thought you'd have to be a lawyer to do that, but no.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but again, so there was like all kinds of possibilities. Nothing there.
Okay.
They even looked into Tiffany. She was known by everyone to be a quiet, shy, gentle person with a heart of gold. There was zip.
It was her conjoined twin that was the evil twin. That was the evil twin.
That twin got all the evil.
Yep. Tiffany got all the good, and that's why she was probably locked away in the basement.
You're killing me.
This evil twin. And they were like, we've got to contain her so she's not going to the beach house. Have you tried
applying these theories to these other unsolved cases like JonBenet and all this? Because...
Oh, we could solve that stat.
God. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Now we have the last one is the 21-year-old son, Dana. He's now the sole beneficiary of the estate, right? There's nobody else left, right? But he's got a solid alibi. He spent Sunday, with his girlfriend's family, 200 miles away. Plus, Monica's father was an FBI agent.
Whoa. Dang.
Right, so that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And Dana even used a credit card receipt for candy he bought Sunday night near their home.
Oh.
Because he used a credit card to pay for candy. As you would.
Like, you only have...
Right, I have no cash.
No cash.
But this is 1992.
True.
In these days, I charge freaking everything because I never have cash. But in 92...
That's true. Back then,
I
you
had
did
cash. Well, I was also we were also still in high school.
But
So we didn't have credit cards.
No.
So, I mean, but this guy comes from a wealthy background.
He does.
Apparently he had an Amex card.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, and he probably has ties to people that could get rid of his family if he wanted to inherit everything. So,
despite his rock-solid alibi, police got a really bad feeling about this guy.
He's the conjoined twin.
He's the conjoined twin. And somehow 3 years later.
It happens.
Okay, so
Sorry. Right. I haven't even
tried to contain my cough, but you're making me laugh so hard.
You're welcome.
So at first, Dana appeared to be upset about the death of his family. He even offered a $50,000 reward to anyone with information that would lead to the...
Finding the perp.
2 days after the murders, they held a memorial service for the victims, which I thought was really fast. But I guess it was just like a memorial service. It wasn't like a
full funeral
thing.
Or whatever. Okay.
400 people attended.
Whoa.
So they were well known and loved in the community. 400 people attended, including detectives, which is pretty common for a murder.
They kind of watch.
Right. Who comes, who's acting weird. They noted that Dana seemed way more preoccupied with when his parents' will was going to be read.
Oh, come on, dude. Criminal 101, you got to be patient.
Seriously, at least try.
At least
make
pretend.
An effort.
Yeah.
So, and then a month after the murders, Dana was already back living in the family home. Most of the cleanup from the murders had not been done yet. And so he actually invited a friend to tour the house.
Gross.
And see, I'm not kidding you, the bullet holes, stains, spatter, all of that was still there.
How heartless. I mean,
right?
Ooh.
Responsible or not, how do you live in that house?
Right.
And it's still there. Like, you can see it, right?
And we're talking like a freak show.
There's like the kitchen. You're always in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Coming in and out from the garage. I mean, maybe you can close the door to the den, but seriously.
Seriously. And then, I mean, to treat it like a freak show. Oh, you got to come see. Come see the evidence.
So gross. So gross. Reportedly also told that the detectives would never solve the case because they were a bunch of dummies.
Oh, okay. Okay, Dana.
All right, 21-year-old genius. They already, just had a bad vibe about him, right?
Okay.
So then Dana's uncles, who are Dale's brothers, his father's brothers, they call detectives asking them, can you look into Dana?
Ooh.
Right?
Okay. Dana's got some history.
According to them, shortly after the bodies were discovered, one of the uncles found the will and got it and did not an official reading, but just looked over it.
Okay, yeah.
And said, all right, well, there's no burial instructions, because that's what they were looking for, was what were their last wishes. To which Dana responded, okay, but what about the money?
Oh, God, Dana. Dana.
Make an effort, fucker.
At least be like, oh, they told me they want to be cremated, and then, they want the will reading the next day. Something.
Seriously, man. I mean, God. What a tool. Then, a few days later, at the actual official reading of the will, Dana was apparently furious to find out that just the month before the murders, Dale and Glee had added trust provisions that would keep him from getting full access of their $8 million estate until he was in his 30s.
And he's upset about that? Come on.
Apparently, pounded his fist on a table and said, how could he have done this to me?
Wow. Oh, God. He's a little brat.
Could you at least pretend not to be a dick? Because you just
brat.
try. Right.
A little
So, unfortunately, though, Dana was going to be able to collect $300,000 from an insurance policy.
Ooh.
His uncles were making attempts to keep him from accessing it because they're like, no.
Something's wrong with this kid.
Right? So detectives are like, all right, we're going to start looking into 21-year-old Dana Ewell, right?
Yeah.
He was about to graduate from the University of Santa Clara with a degree in finance.
Okay.
And while his parents didn't flaunt their money, Dana drove a gold BMW.
Oh, geez.
He's 21. Okay.
Uh-huh.
He wore Italian suits and carried a briefcase to his classes.
Tool. He's what?
He's like Alex P. Keaton.
Oh, totally. Yes.
Nice. He's totally, well, except nicer clothes. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Except nicer clothes.
Yeah, but
Alex
just, yeah.
Dana also had a habit of fabricating stories.
Oh, shocker. He sounds like the type a little bit.
Yep. He told classmates that he had been a stockbroker by the time he turned 18.
Oh, God.
And that he owned a company that grossed almost $3 million a year.
Oh, yeah, I do. Uh-huh. Why is he even trying to do that?
Sure.
Like, what benefit does that?
No, he's like trying to say he's right. So, and then Dana was fascinated with people who were famous for breaking the law in pursuit of wealth, such as, and I had to look these people up because I don't know this kind of stuff. But Michael Milken, who is known as the junk bond king.
Oh, he sounds
who went to prison for fraud.
Sounds high class.
Right.
Anything with the word junk in it.
Exactly. And then a man named Joe Hunt, who was a Ponzi schemer and also ended up being convicted of murder.
Gross.
Right. So these are his idols.
These are, yeah. I look up to these people. Ugh.
Except they got caught. So
yeah. So what are you doing? Yeah.
Dale and Glee, who were both raised during the Depression, were like super disappointed with Dana's obsession with luxury items and this sense of entitlement he had. Although they did get him a gold BMW and he had an Amex card. So like
maybe make him work a little for it or something.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So then in 1990, which was like 2 years before the murders, a Santa Clara newspaper and the university yearbook printed stories on Dana, portraying him as a self-made millionaire.
Ooh. And
they even attributed Dale's accomplishments as Dana's. So he took credit for his dad's stuff.
Oh my God.
Right. So that was the last straw for his parents. They're like, okay, this is out of control.
This is stupid.
They told Dana that they were going to stop financially supporting him once he graduated. They're like, once you graduate, you're on your own, dude. Sorry.
Wow. So he's like, oh, I'm on a timeline now.
Right. Now, shit, I'm going to have to like actually work. That is also when they revised their wills. But they didn't mention that part to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thinking that wasn't going to be an issue. You know,
we're just going to do this because we don't trust our own child.
Just in case, right?
No.
He was able to get the $300,000 of the insurance payout. Yeah, they couldn't.
He'll blow that in a day.
Right. Well, first he bought himself a $130,000 plane.
Oh my God. What? Why? Dude.
Right?
Of all the things. Okay.
And, he posted an ad in the newspaper to sell his mother's fur coat, and he advertised it as, this is the coat belonging to murder victim Glee Ewell.
Wow. That is beyond scum.
Yeah. Right?
Scum. Ew.
So gross.
I don't like this.
So
man.
he's just gross. He's just gross. So they discovered that he had a college friend named Joel Radovich.
Okay.
Radovich.
He actually had a friend, though. That's the thing that I...
Oh,
that blew my mind. What?
And a
That's
girlfriend.
True. But, yeah, question that,
so,
too.
This guy, Joel, was like the polar opposite of Dana. So Dana was slim, clean cut, preppy. Think the preppy type in 1992. Yeah. Joel was a skateboarder. He was muscular. He was a video gamer. He had an obsession with guns and explosives.
That's probably the type
He had a bit of a drug addiction.
Ooh, maybe not that. That's not good.
He had a little drug addiction. Right. Yeah. So, way more my type of guy. Drug addiction.
Mine too. And the bombs, but
And the bombs, right. And the guns and the bombs,
guns,
right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they were kind of a weird odd couple. And when police spoke to each of them, they said that they barely knew each other. They're like, I kind of know him, but not like, we're not really
That's
friends.
weird. Okay, right? Acquaintance friends.
But Joel dropped out of school shortly after the murders.
Oh.
and secretly moved into Dale's family home with him.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, trigger man.
The other odd thing was when police contacted Joel for an interview, his response was, "What, are you going to arrest me?"
Depends on what you tell us, but sure, that sounds pretty good.
Exactly.
It sounds like you have a reason for us to.
Right. Well, thank you for narrowing down our suspects for us. We appreciate that. Okay, so after the murders, Dana briefly quit college. I mean, he probably had a reason to, drop out without... Right. Hey, my family was murdered. They're like, yeah, we'll excuse you for this.
Yes. Yeah, I think you're okay. Yeah.
And to work his father's company, the Western Piper Sales, where he was named vice president for, I don't know, doing nothing, being the owner's son.
Yeah.
Right.
Like he knows anything yet.
Yeah. And he ended up with a salary of $2,000 a month.
Oh, my gosh.
Right.
Just to start.
It was reported that he did very little actual work for the
company.
I
was going to say, does he do anything?
I don't think he did shit.
Salary for nothing.
Joel, however, was unemployed.
Oh.
So he's just living at the house.
Yeah. Right. Sucking off of whatever Dale's got.
Exactly.
Nope. Dana, right.
And yet somehow both Joel and Dana paid cash for helicopter flight lessons. Is this weird?
Yeah.
Is this weird? Yeah.
And why are they doing that? It sounds like little kids.
Then detectives discovered that Dana and Joel had set up this weird, complex communication system between them.
Oh, no.
Where they used pagers and payphones to talk to each other. Right? Because that's not suspicious.
Yeah. Walkie-talkie.
Right?
Oh, no.
So investigators, I thought this was really smart. So they got a search warrant to get a pager that was cloned of Joel's pager. So whenever he got a page...
They would get one?
They would get a page, right?
That's hilarious. Okay.
So, and then he would go and call Dana from a payphone. So they would have an undercover officer, go also use a payphone near them.
Yeah, whoops,
and
I'm just right here. That's
right?
fun.
He's like, I noticed he was fishy from the start.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
smelled
right? Yeah, he sounded like a dipshit, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. So one of the times that they had a detective near him when he was talking on a payphone, they overheard him saying, "They don't have evidence. They'll try to catch you in a lie."
Oh, God.
I know. These guys are really not that smart. But they think
they're like, we've got the whole system down. We got this.
Right. So police basically just keep listening to them and following them and keeping tabs on them.
Yeah.
And this takes a few years, though.
Oh, God.
They aren't giving him anything really solid.
Oh, no.
In the meantime...
They run out of money.
Right. Well, yeah. Oh, he uses it up real fast.
Oh, I figured.
So after his mother was killed, Dana Ewell became of his maternal grandmother's... She had a $400,000 trust account. So her name was also Glee Mitchell. So Glee Mitchell, who married Dale Ewell.
Okay.
She had the same name as her mom, which I think is very confusing. But anyway.
Yeah.
So it's a family name. She was 93 and she had Alzheimer's.
Aww.
So they had set up this trust for her care.
Yeah.
And so she's living in a nursing home back in Ohio.
Okay.
Once Dana became her, I guess, executor or the person
legal,
in charge of her. Yeah,
caretaker.
Exactly. Dana had her switched to a different nursing home and moved to a room with a door that opened to the outside.
Oh, no.
Which, super not safe if your grandmother has Alzheimer's.
How is that even legal?
Right? Right. So when police, because they're watching him, right? They're keeping an eye on him. When they found that out, they went to the nursing home staff and said, do not let him take his grandmother out on any day trips.
Yes. He will kill her.
Right? They're like, we're really suspicious of this guy. So they did, right?
Oh.
And then they weren't able to prove it, but suspected that he misappropriated $100,000 of her trust money for his own use.
I'm sure.
Right? So now the good news is that he didn't kill her
because
she lived on and she died of natural causes in 1999.
That's good.
But there was less than $2,000 left in her trust by the time she died between what Dana stole and the nursing home costs because she was in the nursing home for so long.
Yeah.
So that $400,000 went by real fast.
Right. This kid. Okay. Dana sucks.
Right. He also, during this time, bought his girlfriend, Monica, a new car and paid her law school tuition.
Oh, shit. And she's becoming a lawyer so she can help him.
Right?
That's creepy. Okay.
So, all right. In the meantime, police are gathering all their intel and keeping an eye on Dana and Joel and making sure he doesn't kill any other family members.
That's a good plan.
Police are trying to gather other evidence to solve this crime, to see if they can find some evidence against these guys.
That'd be good.
So they have firearms expert Alan Boudreau, and he was able to determine that all 6 bullets that they found at the scene were fired by the same weapon, and for sure a homemade silencer was used.
Homemade.
Which,
Yikes.
the frick? Okay. Which finally explained this strange forensic evidence that they had collected at the murder scene. Here's the deal. While police were looking into Joel, so they found out that the summer before the murders, Joel had books sent to the home of a college friend. And some of those books included instructions on building gun silencers.
Interesting. Weird
He also,
coincidence.
Applied to Soldier of Fortune magazine and all those other fun stuff, right?
Gross. Okay.
So Joel also happened to ask this friend if he knew anybody who had a gun for sale.
Fine.
That he wanted an AK-47, for just, having it for protection.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. But that he didn't want to go to a gun shop.
Because he didn't want his information out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now let's go back to what I was going to tell you.
Okay.
Okay. So, all right. So now that they knew that Joel was looking into gun silencers, they're like, okay, interesting. So one of the homemade silencers that was given instructions on in one of Joel's books used PVC pipe, tennis balls, and steel wool.
Whoa.
To make the silencer, right?
Jeez. Okay.
So they had found small metallic particles of a dark rubbery substance and fluorescent yellow fibers. Right. From Glee's clothing and from the carpet under her body.
Wow. So
they're like, now this makes sense where this came from, right? Okay. So he built a silencer. Cool. He also, this Alan Boudreau, this expert, also found that the weapon used was not Dale Ewell's missing gun. These bullets were fired from an AT-9, which was a very specific rifle manufactured by a place called Feather Industries out of Trinidad, Colorado.
Oh, of course.
So police went to the company and used their records to locate, and they found that one such model rifle was sold in California to a man named Jack Ponce, who was in his 20s at the time. Okay.
That
it was
really narrows it down. One person.
Okay. Interesting, right?
Go talk to him.
And this guy turned out to be a friend of Joel's older brother.
What a quinky dink.
Or it might have been his younger brother. It was a friend of his brother.
Yeah.
He knew this guy, right? Okay.
A weird coincidence.
So they go to talk to this guy, Jack Ponce. They're like, we need to talk to this.
Yeah, we got.
He admitted to police that he purchased the rifle for Joel. But he denied that he had any knowledge that it was going to be used in some kind of crime. He was like, I just bought it for him. I didn't know what he was going to do with it, right?
Yeah.
But then they discovered that Jack had concealed evidence after the murders, which made him an accessory.
After the fact or whatever. Oh, shit. Jack.
So prosecutors offered him a deal if he agreed to testify. They offered him immunity. Total immunity if he testified against Dana and Joel. Okay. So he was like, yep.
Yeah, I'll take that deal. Thank you very much. Door number one.
Right. Also, this guy, he wasn't like a slouch. He was actually a law student.
Oh, okay.
So he was like, shit,
he was going
I know a good deal when I see one.
Yeah.
But also, maybe don't buy guns for other people.
Right. I mean, duh.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyone who's not willing to buy their gun for themselves.
Yeah, there's something going on there. Red flag. Another one.
Are you guys watching, are you listening to class?
Yeah.
That's a good red flag.
That's a good red flag. I was going to say, we got to write that down.
Red flag.
Someone asks you to buy a gun for them.
Right. Buy them a gun. Right. Also, don't put my name down. Okay.
Exactly.
Finally, 3 years after the murder, they had enough evidence to arrest Dana and Joel, and they charged each of them with 3 counts of first-degree murder and special circumstances, which I never understood that part, but I do have that information later. But the special circumstances made them eligible for the death penalty.
Whoa. Yikes.
Yeah, so now this is serious business now.
Yeah, you guys are in big trouble.
Yeah, they fucked up big time.
Did you guys ever do that? So when you were little, when someone was getting in trouble,
Dude, you are in trouble. Oh, totally.
I never figured out where came from.
I don't know, but I know my kids don't do that. None of them are
neither
scared
do
of
mine.
Shit. Oh, well, I'm going to lose TV time. Like, you know, whatevs. It took 2 more years before the trial began.
Whoa.
Everything takes so long to get everything, right? And the trial lasted 8 months. So it's 1997 now.
Oh, my God.
So you and I have made it through college. And it's time it took all this shit to happen.
And he's like, I'm almost 30 and I'll get my millions.
Right, exactly. I'm getting close to getting my millions now. Dana and Joel were tried together, but they had separate attorneys.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. Prosecutors believed that Dana's motive, his motive was greed. Duh, right?
What?
Right. And that he had promised Joel a share of his inheritance for being his trigger man.
Right.
Dana's attorney argued that Dana was completely innocent and that it was Joel and Jack who planned the whole thing and carried out the murders.
Right, because they have so much to get from it.
Right.
What are they going to get?
Exactly. Right. They didn't take anything from the house.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. So Joel's attorney, who I think was a little bit smarter, was pretty sure that the evidence against his client was pretty overwhelming.
Yeah.
So he just focused his attention on keeping Joel from getting the death penalty.
Yeah, let's just keep you alive.
By saying Dana was the mastermind. He was the muscle.
Yeah.
So he wasn't alone in this, right?
Right.
And nobody could Jack couldn't be charged because he got immunity.
He had helped.
Exactly. One of the things that came out during the trial was that, and I found this was just interesting. The fall before the murders, Dana began dating Monica Zent, who lived in the same dorm. And it was common knowledge among the dorm residents that Monica's father was an FBI agent.
Oh, so he was trying to cover his tail a little bit.
Right?
Maybe
That's
if
what
I can
I
get
think.
in good with her,
right?
Protect
what
me.
a great alibi I would have. Right?
That's disgusting.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. It could be that, you know, he just found that out later and was like, shit, I'm going to put that in my back pocket. This could be good. I don't know, but I find it a little sketchy.
Yeah,
right?
that seems a little too convenient.
When Jack Ponce testified, he told the jury how Joel told him what happened when he committed the murders.
Ooh, good. Let's hear it.
Right. Joel described that he had shaved himself from head to toe, everything but his eyebrows.
You should have done the eyebrows too.
Ew.
Just because.
Well, that would have been obvious.
Yeah. Why don't you have any eyebrows? I don't know.
So he shaved everything. Ew. He wore layers of latex gloves because apparently one layer is not good enough. I don't know.
All right.
It's okay for surgeons, but whatever. You know. This is serious. This is murder.
We get. I don't want to get caught.
And that he waited on a plastic sheet.
So he wouldn't shed any DNA.
Isn't that nasty?
That's super creepy.
I don't know. I tried to look. I couldn't find it, but it's something I watched. I thought had said, and then I had to try to find it, and I couldn't. I thought he waited there for like hours before they came home.
That's creepy.
Right?
Was he naked too?
I think so.
Oh, no.
So, right? Well, maybe
that alone
not.
would be horrifying to find.
Well, because then he'd leave fibers, right? So...
True. Oh, so maybe he tripled up on his clothes. I don't know.
Maybe that's why Glee was horrified.
Yeah.
This gross, hairless, naked man is chasing me with a gun.
There's the look.
Maybe his penis was really small and she was horrified, and that was the reason for the face. This is why I'm going to hell, because I just made that comment. But whatever. I said it. Right? Oh my God. You know.
That's so sad.
Oh God. Okay, sorry. Joel told Jack that he was really careful to collect all the shell casings.
Yeah.
Jack told the jury that he purchased the gun for Joel, and he told the jury that he helped him dispose of the gun, the fired shells, the silencer, and some tennis shoes. Ooh, after the murders.
Okay.
So he admitted to doing all that, but he had immunity.
Yeah, so he couldn't get in trouble. All right.
So
he cooperated. He
also said that Joel told him that Dana wanted his out of the way as well, so he didn't have to split the inheritance.
Of course.
What?
Because he's a
slimy
greedy little fuck.
dick. Exactly. Right. So junior prosecutor Jeff Hammerschmidt was able to show the jury how Dana had used more than 25 accounts at 14 different banks.
Good God.
To funnel money to Joel as payment for executing his family. So he was real careful.
He's going to school for finance. He's like, this is how you hide money.
Right? Some of the accounts were in his own name. Some of them were joint accounts with his grandmother.
Okay.
And some of them were joint accounts with his girlfriend, Monica.
Ooh.
So
interesting.
Makes me wonder if she knew stuff. I mean, he bought her a car. He paid for law school.
Or maybe he's just my sugar daddy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right? Interesting. 6 years after the murders, after deliberating for 11 days, the jury convicted both Dana and Joel of first-degree murder with the special circumstances of murder for financial gain, lying in wait, didn't know that was an
That's a thing,
and multiple murders.
Wow.
But they were deadlocked on whether or not to impose the death penalty.
Yeah, I get that.
So the judge gave them each 3 life sentences without parole.
There you go.
They're not going
Just make sure they're not going anywhere.
Nope. They're like, all right, cool. Then they're just going to live here forever.
If you can't make that decision, guess what? We'll keep him.
Years later, a juror named Mike Elder said, this is what he had to say, a quote, about his experience on the jury. He said, quote, Dana actually scared people. They would look over at him and he had this look on his face. You just thought any minute horns were going to come up.
Yikes.
Right?
I need to see a picture of this dude. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Or video would be better.
Homicide investigator Chris Curtis believes that Kelly Ewell caught a glimpse of her killer before she died and probably recognized him as a friend of her son because Dana had actually brought Joel to their house just a month before.
Oh.
And Chris Curtis also said that, quote, the shooter actually went and straddled her and shot close range. So she was on the ground when he shot her in the face. And then the former prosecutor, Jeff Hammerschmidt, said, I'm sure when she saw who it was, she knew it was her son murdering her.
Oh, which is even more.
Oh my God, right? Imagine thinking, I thought he was a little shit, but I didn't know he was capable of this, right? Like,
where did I go wrong in my parenting?
Oh my God, I knew we shouldn't have bought him that fucking BMW.
Gold nonetheless.
God, right? God, I mean, that's such a dick car.
Total dick car.
So, okay, so then this is kind of interesting. Dana's paternal grandfather, Austin Ewell, died in 1994 in an explosion in his basement.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Although they could not prove it wasn't an accident. There was evidence that Joel was in Ohio at the time.
Oh my God, he was like getting rid of the whole family.
Right? Well, because there was money on both sides as well as trying to get from his parents, which he couldn't get till he was 35.
Yeah. So he's like, I'm just going to get it from everyone.
Also, his grandfather was another person who was very vocal about his suspicions about his involvement in the murders, and he pushed really hard to keep him from getting the inheritance money.
Wow.
So, and in fact, when he did pass away in 1994, he had written Dana out of his will.
God, this kid must have had some issues. I'd kind of love to see him growing up, and see what made him like this.
There was, so one of the things I got my information on was when I was sick, I watched, it was called Murdered for Millions. It was on Hulu.
Oh, okay.
It's like an hour-long documentary on Hulu. Highly suggest. And in it, one of the people interviewed was one of Tiffany's, childhood friends.
Oh.
And she said that Dana was always just kind of weird and creepy. And that sometimes he would come in and just, take the heads off of her Barbie dolls.
My brother did that. Ew.
Oh, you better write him out of your will now and let him know. And I'm just kidding. So just like weird shit.
Oh.
She was
deviant.
he was the opposite of Tiffany and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, he always gave
that conjoined evil twin thing.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. Yeah. Here's one other little tidbit, which I find interesting, ironic, whatever.
Oh.
Both Jack Ponce and Monica Zent both went on to become attorneys and both practice in California.
Oh,
right?
Damn.
One was directly involved and got immunity. And the other, I have a hard time believing she was completely
clueless.
Clueless, exactly.
Oh, that's creepy.
Right, but that's why I did Descendant, because I'm like, dude, he was trying to take out people on both sides. He was trying
to take out everyone.
And he didn't even want to share the money with his sister. Like, he was a little shit.
Disgusting, yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't like Dana.
No, I don't like Dana either. Yeah. So, that ruined that name for me. So.
I know.
Ruined.
And another name is ruined.
Right, exactly. Would you like to hear my sources?
Please.
Okay, so first I watched that documentary on Hulu, which was really good. Then I went and I filled in with some other great information. Of course, murderpedia.com, wikipedia.com, forensicfilesnow.com. There was an article by Lori A. Johnston on medium.com called The Ewell Family Murders from June of 2020. And then on governmentinfo.gov, there were court files.
I love court files.
And I got all kinds of shit from that. So that was sweet.
Ooh, I like that stuff.
It was like, seriously, like I had to go back and be like, this is going to be like 7 hours long. Like, I got to cut some of
this out. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they were getting information from the two of them for that 3 years. I mean, there were all kinds of conversations that they overheard that were just sketchy and weird and
that's amazing.
Things that made it sound like Jules may have known a little bit of information. Monica may have known a little information. I don't know if they all testified or not because like 100 witnesses, so they could have.
Yeah. Boy, that'd be an interesting job. Oh, interesting and boring probably at the same time, but
seriously, right?
Like surveillance, yeah.
Hey, Oddies, thanks for listening to another episode of ODFM. If you're a longtime listener, hey, we cannot thank you enough for your continued support. And if you're a new listener, thanks for giving us a try. If you like us, please drop us a like, subscribe, or rate us so we can share our stories with more people around the world. And if you'd like more information, like links to our podcast and socials, along with our Patreon fan page, those links are all on Linktree under ODFM Podcast. That's linktr.ee/ODFM Podcast. Side note, you guys, we're obsessed with fan art, and we love making things with it, like stickers for our fans. So if you'd like us to use your designs, send it to us at odfmpodcast@gmail.com. And if we use your design, we'll be sure to send you a sticker.
Thanks for listening to another episode of ODFM, hosted by Kelly DeVries and Jenna Swanson. Production and editing by Kelly DeVries. Theme music by Eric Swanson. ODFM is a satirical true crime podcast for entertainment purposes only. The stories you hear are serious and true. The comments and opinions are not. We apologize if any of our content is harmful or disrespectful.